What's going on out there, good people? It is your boy Look Around with LMD Trading, and we are back with another daily trade review. And we're getting this one out the way fairly early. Some lunchtime, and I think I am done for the day. Actually, I only traded about an hour this morning, and I was good with what we had did. So I figure we'll go ahead, wrap this morning up, lock it in, and be ready for tomorrow. So we're gonna jump on right into the thumbnail watch list, even though I still hear my music playing in the background. I don't usually try to time this out, but let's go ahead. Let's jump on into the thumbnail watch list. Not a full watch list today, but a fairly active watch list today. So we had Tesla. Can't remember if I traded Tesla or not. Dang. But we had Tesla, AMTD. Just had this on here just watching. Didn't really plan on trading it. Pins is on the long list, but we got a good short end on this thing. Look at that. That's a beauty. We had LYFT, LYFT. Gonna come back to this one. I took a trade. I entered a trade pre-market. I was hoping that thing would not trigger until the market opened, but took a pre-market trade, fairly lackluster. I did not let it do what it needed to do. I got to give Evan plug on this one. And like I said, we're going to run through this and then we'll come back to that. So had Marriott, got a good trade in on Marriott. HKD, I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole. This thing was at like $12 2 weeks ago. It hit a high of $1,000. Actually, no, it hit a high of $1,200 today. Opened out of a gap, gapped all the way back down to 850, and now it is back at 1075. This thing is crazy. We got Snow, we got Dash, shorts. We still had Comcast, just looking to see if it was going to have some follow through. Nothing there. Beam, nothing there. And then I got Wayfair down here. Wayfair, I came across doing some studying, and I took a put on this. So I just wanted to see what it was going to do off the open. So we have this in our retirement account as a put play. But before we pull up the video, I want to pull up the charts for LYFT. And I want to show y'all something. This was one that that Evan brought to my attention this morning, and I took a trade on it and I just didn't let it work. Let's see. Let's go to 20-day, 1 hour. So this came across Evan's watch list, or he came upon it and he was like, hey, I see a 1 hour 3-bar play. So took a look at it and I'm like, yeah, I kind of see it too. Getting in as it breaks the high of this candle, the big candle, putting the stop below it. I put an order in the system for when the market opened, if it triggered. And this thing triggered like 3 minutes before the market opened and took off running. So I got in it late. It started pulling back. I ended up getting out basically break even. And then this thing easily would have ran and hit target. Let's see what this candle was. Let's close that and then we'll see if we can see it. So range on that candle was 36 cents. Let's call it 40 cents. The high was 15.06. So let's just say it needed to go to 15.86. Look where it is at right now. It's at 15.86, but it hit a high of 15.94. So this would have easily hit target. And this was an excellent call out. I just did not let the trade do what it needed to do. And I ended up just taking a half position on it as well. But that was the first one. And we'll go ahead, we'll bring up the video. And you're going to see that I'm already in that trade. Because again, and actually the video is showing 9:29. Market is not even open yet. Market is not even open. We're in 50 shares. I gave it a 50-cent stop because I did get in late. My average price on that was $15.30. Average should have been, what did I say, $15.08. So I got in 25 cents late almost. We'll call it 20 cents late. So I'd already missed most of the move. But let's go ahead. We'll start rolling this video. No, we won't. No, we won't. We forgot something. We forgot something. We try to keep this thing structured. So TRADERVUE. Let's look at the details. Tuesday, August 12th. We took 6 trades today. Guess what? All 6 of them were green. Actually, we had the one flat one, so we'll call it 5 greens and a flat one. But close P&L on the day, 169.59. Another solid base hit morning. 1 hour in the market. 1 hour in the market. 160. We're gonna call it 160, and I was done. I ended up taking this trade as I was packing up. And we'll review the entry, but I had already shut OBS down on it once it started working. But this was that lift. That was that first trade. Got out flat. Snow. I got in snow on a good trade. An excellent. I'm gonna say it was an excellent trade. But then I looked at the spreads and I looked at how whippy it was, and that scared me out of it. Soon as I got out of it, this thing popped and would have hit target. Traded Tesla. Good solid trade on Tesla. Pins. Remember we said Pins was on the long list? This was a short, and we risked $25. $25 risk on this. It hit target. Good solid trade. We came back and traded LYFT again. But guess what? It was a short this time. So we traded LYFT. And then we took this trade as a late morning trade. Small risk. I was up 160 from these trades right here. I said, I'm going to take this trade and I'm going to risk $10 of what I've made. So I risked $10. Had this trade not worked, I would have lost 10. It would have been a 150 morning. That would have been 3R, and I would have been content with that. This trade worked nicely. Ended up moving the stop up, not to capture 1R for the risk that we had on the line, but because of where the stock was at that particular time. So that is what we looked at today. I want to see something real quick though. Let's see what the let's see what our unrealized. So unrealized on this was 69. We got out right where it got us out at, right there. And I remember this one. I had to stop initially, like right around here, thinking it was going to catch some resistance. I didn't get a chance to pull it up in time, and it kind of smacked me and stopped me out. The other one I want to look at real quick is Pins. Pins, I ended up moving the stop to target, and I moved the target down a little lower. So let's see what we did on that one. So it only went $7 more in our favor. Came back, smacked us. But look at this thing where we got out at. Oh, no, that was an excellent, excellent exit. We got in right here. We got out right there. And then this thing curled back up. So good out on that one there. We do see that it curled back up and then kept going. But guess what? 50 was our target. So we hit target on that one. So that was a good solid trade there. But now let's go ahead and let's get that video pulled up. And if y'all have not hit the like button, I would greatly appreciate it. I would greatly appreciate it. If this is your first time over, please think about subscribing. We're trying to do good things over here. I am a new trader, and I'm trying to cater to the new traders out there that's wondering if you can make money in this thing called trading. And I see the potential in it. I totally see the potential in this thing. But like I said, right now, we're looking at LYFT. We ended up getting in this off of the pre-market 1 hour chart on a 3-bar play. This thing had popped. Look at that candle. This is a 10-minute. I had this chart turned to the 10-minute today instead of the 5-minute. But this thing had popped on me. And I missed my entry. I missed that entry of 1508. So I'm already in a little late. But we see, look at when the market opened. See, market just opened. Look at time and sales. We 8 seconds into the market. That is what a 3-bar play is supposed to do. Take off. And that's exactly what it did. Like I say, we're 20 cents late on the entry. So we should already be at 1R, which we're coming up on 1R right now because we only had 25 on this one because we got in pre-market. And this is one of the reasons why I kind of got worried. You see that line right there? I had that line on the chart as an area. It didn't just come to the area, but it came to the exact point that I had on the chart. So that was one of my reasons for kind of being a little leery on this trade once we got in, but we're letting it do what it do. Just letting it work. And I'm gonna go ahead and kind of speed this up. We see it's kind of peekabooing and breaking over that area. So still a halfway decent trade. Still a halfway decent trade. And now while this is working, I'm kind of going, looking at my thumbnail watch list that's off to my right, trying to see if any other ideas are working. This one, being that it was a 1 hour entry, I really should have let this thing work. It wasn't no like 2 minute or 5 minute entry, or like I said, we got the 10 minute pulled up in this case today. I really should have kind of just let this thing work, but let's see. We get in the snow at 9:34, so I'm gonna kind of just speed this up. And see, look, that was the concern. You see that big pullback, but then you come here, look at that. That's strength. It then turned this was a big, gigantic red candle. It turned that big, gigantic red candle into this, they'll call that a hammer candle. Little tiny body at the top with a big wick at the bottom. That's a hammer candle. This is strong, but not on much volume though. Not on much volume. So once it did that, that kind of gave me a little hope that this might be doing something. And then look, it comes right back in the seller's step right back in. So we leave that where it is, and then we switch over to snow. Let me see what I'm seeing on snow. So we got this candle right here holding up the 50 moving average. That's this broken line. And then we got this green line right here. That was an area that we had previously marked on the chart. Let's highlight that candle. It's 107. So we're looking at a $1.10 stop. So yeah, we got the $1.10 in there. 220 for our target. We switch this over to the 1 minute and we highlight that one. That's the same candle. It's a 107 range on that one. So we don't really need to change anything. We just need this candle to stay above that. So we come back over, we look at LYFT. We see LYFT is, I ended up kicking my brackets out and then just flattening the trade. I was like, I don't like this. But then, I didn't look down here at the volume. There was no real volume in this candle. So it's a big candle. It's a big candle, but look at what the volume is. But this is why I got out of the trade right there. Look at that. On the 10 minute, you got this big top and tail. So that was the reason why I got out of that trade. But let's come on back over here to snow. Let's look at what we were seeing on snow. We got in snow at 9:36. So we're basically setting it up right now. Still got our 110 stop, 220 target. But look at the spreads. Look, you see where the so we're putting our order in the system. But look at the spreads on these things. Let's see. I don't really have my glasses on. These are just some blue blockers. Look at the bid and the ask right there. That thing is huge. But we get triggered in. And this thing is just chopping all over the place. Let's see. We took 45 shares. So this was a full position. But look at the spreads. You don't even see the buyers and the sellers right there tight together. If this had a tight spread, I would have loved this trade. I would have loved it because it was holding over the 50. It was holding over this area right here. But just that doggone, that spread, man. That spread was just ridiculous. So we'll speed it up. We'll see. It's actually, I gave this a little bigger stop. Didn't really count this number right. It probably should have been 40 shares. But I didn't want to bring it back to where the target should have been at, or the stop should have been. This is where I wanted my stop at. Initially, it had it right there. That was $50 right there. Stop really should have been right there. So kind of brought the stop back down. We see it's working now. But again, it's just so choppy. It's just so choppy. So I was like, nah, but let's go ahead. Let's fast forward this up a little bit. And now you see I'm bringing my target down because I'm like, I just want to get out of this thing. I do not want this thing to go against me. I got faith in the trade, but having faith in the trade, you still can make a bad one sometimes. And I don't want this thing to be a bad one, go against me, and then I get caught in a wicked spread and I end up losing $30 more because of the spread. So now I'm saying that this is kind of working. So I'm gonna try to squeeze as much as I can out of it. Couldn't really put a stop on the back end because of that spread. Again, if this thing stopped out, you can lose $20, $30 just in the spread. So ended up getting out, $27 profit. But like I said, it was a good idea, good trade. I just did not like the spread. And there it go. That's what I told Evan. Like, soon as I got out of the thing, it popped. Thing would have just instantly ran up there and caught target. But it's the way it goes sometimes. But let's go ahead. Let's fast forward on through. We get in our next trade at 9:42. So we got about 30 seconds. But yeah, like I said, I like that one. You look at it over here on the 1 minute. Nice clean chart on the 1 minute. But we come over here to Tesla. And we see Tesla was right here around the previous low of day. Look at the stop size. $7. $7 stop, $14 target. I'm getting 8 shares. That's a $56 risk. The play on it is to get in when it breaks the high of that candle, which is also going to break the high of that candle. And then we're looking for that pop. So that was the play. Bam. It's triggered us in. Boom. Look at that move. Nice move. Again, when I got in, I was like, this might act as a little resistance. This might act as a little resistance. So I'm kind of just watching it. And again, with not really getting the good follow through that I so like to see, I was like, let me just lock in profit on this thing. So we initially dragged the target to here. That way I can kind of check around. I see where that was at. That was like 33 bucks. So I'm going to fast forward it. Now you see I kind of move it up because it's kind of showing strength. Look at the volume in there. That volume is kind of picking up. So I moved the stop up. And then here I just come over to Wayfair. like I said, I got into a put in the retirement account. If I have time at the end of this, I'll kind of show you my thought on that trade and why I hate that I missed it, but it's something that I want to look at. And this is a chart for the contract that I'm in, the put contract. Very low volume, very low volume. Those are actual candles. They like maybe one or two. So right now I'm actually getting into the contract. So I've switched over to my retirement account. You're going to see me change from a bracket to a single entry. That's how many people on the buy line for these puts. That's how many people are on the sell line. So you got more buyers than you do sellers, but you see how it kind of fluctuated. And I just trying to get filled because I got faith in this trade. I think this put expires September. Let's see. No, it expires this month, 8/19. So it expires on a few Fridays. But we're in it. Time and sales, that's my order going into the system. So I just purchased that, paid $3.30 for it. Probably going to get at about a $10, or not a $10, I'm sorry, a $50 stop loss. So if it goes against me 50 bucks, I'll go ahead and get out of it. I'm checking it right now. It had been up like, it was at $3.40. So it was up $10. Because again, you got to multiply that by 100. So we're just going to let that thing do what it do. And like I said, I'll kind of show you my thought process. But we come back over to Tesla and we see that it's, bam, tapping that doggone, right as we switch over to it too. Didn't even give me time to kind of drag it up there. At least could have took it up to this first area that we did have marked on the chart. But solid trade nonetheless. It did what we expected it to do. And usually that's all you want to see these trades do, is what you expected it to do. Man, I'm looking at LYFT on the thumbnail watch list. Wow. So let's go ahead. We will speed this up. I don't think we take the next trade. Let's see. Pins is our next trade, and we take it at 10:03. So I'm going to just kind of speed this up. We see we were checking out LYFT. LYFT had a nice little decent breakout over that area. We come to snow. Again, that spread. But I'm telling Evan, I like this setup. I just look at the spreads. It's not tight enough. So now I come back to LYFT and I'm like, okay, if this candle here can hold above this area, I'll be interested. Nope, that quick is failing. Now we still can get a bottoming tail if this was to come back up and hold, but it never does. So we'll go ahead. We're looking at Dash, nothing there. But let's see, what do we see on this? Nothing, because look, that's a lower high. So that's what I'm like, nope, I'm out of this thing. That's a lower high. Come over here to the 1 minute. That's a lower high. So we got the higher low from here, but this move should have kept going and set a higher high. And we had the lower high right there. So I get out of that one. Come back over to LYFT. That was that candle that I said needed to hold above it. It didn't. But we're getting this candle coming back up, trying to engulf it. So, bam, that quick. Nope. Seller step back in. That trade's off the table. We come over here to APDN. Look at this thing. Watch this. This one I was going to take as a momentum trade. I was going to take it as a momentum trade. Look, I put my order in. Watch time and sales. Watch time and sales. So I got my order in right there. You see the numbers lock. You see the numbers lock on the time and sales. this thing gets halted. It gets halted right as I flip to it. I found this one on the pre-market scanner, pre-market gap scanner. So I put my order in a momentum trade, and this thing halts right as I'm trying to get filled. And look at it, it's not even really that much volume. And I'm like, doggone it. So we didn't get that trade. And I cancel it. I take it out the system. Nope, we're done. Let's see. Oh, we still have a lot of time. So we're not about to wait through all of that. Hold on. Was that it? Opening back up? Nope. So now I'm just scrolling through, looking at other ideas. That's LYFT. We see LYFT didn't hold that area and it's breaking back down. So you know what I'm thinking. One of my favorite short patterns. This is getting heavy. So you see me checking it. We don't take it for a while though. So let's keep going. We check out CAT. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Oh, there it was. Dang it. I missed it. Where did it go to? Dang on it. All right. I guess we missed it. That was that ADA, whatever it was. It had came out of the halt and gapped up. So that would have been a good trade. But here goes LYFT. Look at LYFT. Remember, we were trying to go long again right here. But the sellers stepped on in. So now I'm like, okay, this thing is getting heavy. Now, I used to hear people say it looks like it's getting heavy. Never understood really what they was talking about. And I may be defining it a little different than what they actually be talking about in it. But to me, this was getting heavy. So I'm getting my numbers in order. Let's see. So 25-cent stop, change that to 100. That way we're risking 25 bucks on it. Target, or not target, but first area of concern was going to be right there. We're watching entry. We need that candle to close. Really want that candle to close before we get in. But this is going to be entry. That's going to be entry. So we got 35 seconds. So I'm like, come on, thing, hurry up. We see the time is moving pretty good. I'm like, go ahead, hurry up so I can get in this thing. But we're at 15 seconds now. Decent little pull. So normally I'll go ahead and put my brackets in right now. 10 seconds out, and it's a little ways away from it. I usually won't have a problem doing it, but let's see. We're going to wait. Candle's closed. So we should be putting that order in right now. Bam. So order is in the system. It's the beauty about the brackets. 25-cent stop. Giving it a little extra wiggle room, putting it up on top of here right there. But look how far the target is. So we got to get through that stuff. But let's see, what do we have? We got less than a minute before we actually take our next trade. So let's see. Yeah, we'll let this go ahead and play out. We'll be switching over to pen here in a second. Let's speed it up. See, I knew that was going to happen. All right, so we come over and we look at pen. Look at pen. Pen is getting heavy too, right here at the 9 moving average. So I do my numbers. This is a $20 risk. We only was risking 20 on this trade. Because we got a 20-cent stop. We bought 100 shares. It goes against us. We're going to lose 20. But a little aggressive on this one. I would have wanted to see this candle finish and then the next candle break it. So this was a little aggressive. We'll come up, look at the 1 minute. 1 minute, actually, could have got in right there, but you're going to catch resistance right there. So that was a good entry to get in below that point. Come up, look at the 10 minute. 10 minute looks good to go down. We come back over. We look at LYFT, and we see LYFT did not trigger us. LYFT is looking strong. let's go ahead. Let's fast forward it. Just like it was looking strong. Now look, sellers then came back in. We come over here and we look at pen. And you see now we've moved that stop up to where we are risking the 25. And this right here is key. That is key. That's that wall, that price action wall. So if it breaks that, we're out to trade anyway. But our stop was sitting right at it. Didn't want that stop sitting right at that number. It needed to be on the top side of it. And it didn't really affect our stop or affect our risk, I should say. We still was well within our risk. But we see, nope, sellers still got this thing. They pushing it back down. Here, you don't see anything because I switch over to my retirement account and I'm checking. I was checking out to see what that put was doing on Wayfair. And then I switched back over to my main margin account that I'm trading out of. So we see it's doing good. Back down where it needs to be at. We come over and we check LYFT. LYFT has triggered us in and doing exactly what we expected it to do. But we do know that this is going to act as a little resistance. So we're kind of watching it. Kind of watching that trade play out. Flip back, check pen. Pen is back. Now pen is doing what we needed to do. So both of our shorts are doing what they're supposed to do. This one was a little touchy at times though, because we see the buyers would try to step in. We see the buyers made that green candle. We come back here, up and back it up. So you see, I've brought my stop down now. And you see me highlighting over there like, yep, this thing came right to that area and now it's coming back up. And again, look at all of that price volume right there. 433,000 shares were bought at 15.25. So you're seeing it here as an area, and then you're seeing it there as an area. So if this gets back on this side, the seller's going to have a hard time trying to push that back down below that. But look at what it's doing. Look at what it's doing. It's trying to stay below it. That's the key. It has to stay below it. If it can stay below it, we're good. But look at it. It's coming back up, flirting with it. Look at the it's buyers to sellers. Right now, it's about even. It's about even up. Buyers look like they got more of them. If you got an iPhone and you play video games and you see that game that pops up that they try to get you to download where like you got all of these red people coming at you and a handful of green or a handful of blues, actually, that's the same thing right here. It's a battle. So look, the buyers have won that battle and they've pushed that line up. Sellers stepping back in. And it's just a battle, but let's speed it up. Right, it always happens right as I do it. But look at that. Look at the number of buyers now compared to the number of sellers. Buyers like, nah, partner, we pushing this back up. So stops me out. I'm not upset about it. I come back over, I check pen. Let's keep on scrolling through this. Let's see. Yeah, we don't take another trade till late, so we're gonna just watch this one play out. Let's look at the numbers. So right now we're up. We passed our target. Our target was 50. We passed it. So we bring the stop to 40. We move our target down a little further. Up. Let's back it up just so we can kind of see how it plays out. There we go. So again, stop is at 40. And I kind of come over here and I'm looking, I'm like, I really don't see, this thing should have just been dropping. Same way that this came up, it should have dropped that way. So when it wasn't dropping, I'm like, let me go ahead and make sure I lock my profit or lock my target in. And boom, comes up, tags us. We make our 50 bucks. We're good to go. we were really done at that point. What time is it? 10:22 in the market for an hour. We done made 160 bucks. Not bad. So I'm just sitting there, me and Evan kind of chatting. I finally start listening to RT's chat room. This was another one that I looked at. Cat was on the short list today, but look at what it did. Nice little double bottom, and it was testing the 9 and the 50. So could have got in right here, missed it. Evan was like, I don't see the retest, and he was absolutely right. I would have been getting in off just this little breakout right here. It would have moved maybe 1 R. But this thing never held the retest. It never held up to the retest. So now I'm getting my order in for the retest. But I look at the spread, and this thing had a crazy spread on it. I'm like, so you'll see me put the order in, and then I look at the actual spread. This thing has the same kind of spread that Snow had. So I end up taking this one out of the order or out the system. Just like I did on Marriott, I was risking $10. This had $1 stop, 10 shares. I'm risking $10 of what I've made today. Not trying to get back all my profits. So we watch it. Like I said, this thing never held up to the retest. I wouldn't have wanted to get back in until it broke that candle. I don't care about these candles breaking these. I needed to break that. And you see, that's why I'm highlighting it right there. Because I'm like, it needs to break that candle before I would even think about getting back into it. And all the charts look decent. That's the 10-minute. Me and Evan were chatting. He was saying it needed a pullback. And I was saying, I really don't want to see a pullback. I'd rather see a consolidation. Because the pullback will mess the 2-minute up. A consolidation will just give this move time to cool down. 15-minute looks good with that nice bottoming tail. So let's keep going. I'm back looking at LYFT. Nothing there really to see. I come over to Marriott. And Marriott got that same little setup where it's testing the VWAP and the 9 moving average this time. And it's holding this area. So this one here, 50-cent stop. Should have been 20 shares. Let's see if we change it. But I ended up taking this off of a different chart. But this would have been a halfway decent trade too. But it kind of started running. Look, now we're at 56 cents on that candle. Let's speed it up a little bit. I could kind of show you what I actually get in this thing on. So this finishes with that top and tail. That's not good. But we see the time. It just started a new 15-minute candle. Look at the 15-minute candle here. Nice little doji above the 9 moving average over here. So now I'm going to go and instead of getting in on the smaller time frame, which has a smaller stop, I'm going to look at getting in this one on the longer time frame. It has a bigger stop, but this is giving me better confirmation than this right here. So I didn't even see what my numbers were. Let's see if it's going. I'm gonna highlight it again. So $1.44. That's the size of that candle. $1.44. So I need probably round that up to $1.50. Speed it up. Yep, $1.50, $3 target. Entry just on the top side. Stop is at the bottom of it. Let's speed it up. Let's speed it up. Let's see what a target is at. Target is just above 161. Just above 161. That's going to be important because this is going to end once this thing triggers me in. So I'm triggered in now. And then I call it a morning. So we see it's working. We're up a couple of cents. But target was back on the top side of this. And I don't have it, so we're done. That's the end of the video. So you don't see how I got out of it, but I'm gonna switch over real quick to the chart and we're gonna be out of here. We'll switch back over to real time. So this is real time. If you're still sticking around, please give your boy a like on the video. But this is LYFT. I was just looking at this thing. LYFT. Excellent call, Evan. Excellent call on that 1 hour 3-bar play that I just did not get out, get what I needed out of it. Even with my my 20-cent late entry, this thing would have hit target. It would have hit target. But what are we doing? We're going over to MAR. We say that, remember, we was looking at the and let's take this over to the 2 minute. See, that's ugly. That is ugly. So this is what I did. This thing made this nice move. It broke over this. And before I shut my computer down, I brought my stop up to right here, just on the back side. Look at how much I missed it by. Had I just had it like right here, wouldn't have gotten stopped out. We say target was just on the other side of 161. It would have came up and hit it on that side. So ended up getting out of the trade for about 1 R based on that $10 risk. But this trade here would have hit target too. This trade would have hit target too, even with that wide stop. Even with that wide stop. What is that? That's 158.38. Target would have been 161.38. 161.38. 161.47 is in that candle. We would have hit target in that candle right there. But let me show you one other thing real quick. Let's see. Let's see if I have it. I'm going to show you the reason why I took this put play on Wayfair. So we'll switch over to these charts right here. Go ahead, close that out. And this is Wayfair's 12-hour chart. Look at what it does. It goes up, it catches this line, it comes back down. It goes up, it catches that line, it comes back down. It goes up. That's boring trading right there. That's boring. That's what I like. I want to see some boring trades. So I got in over here. My stop is going to be on the top side of this. So if this breaks out of this channel, all bets off, trade is done. But what I've calculated is usually every 8 bars, this thing will come back down. And that's how we've taken this trade. This will be a trade. We'll probably hold this one for a few days. But that was the play on that particular trade. So we see right now, it is just up to that area where we got the line on there. So if this candle holds above it and the next candle goes, we'll probably go ahead and get out of it. But I'm taking this trade to follow this trend. Taking this trade to follow this trend that it's been in. And the good thing about these puts, I paid $330 for this put, $3.30. Looking at the actual contract, that contract has been selling for about $4, and usually it goes up to $11. That's $700, and then it'll come back down. It'll come back down, and it'll get back down around $4 or $5, and then it goes back up again. So that's the play. That's the play on that Wayfair one. I'll keep you posted on how it does, whether I stop out or whether it makes money like we want it to do. But on that note, we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. I hope y'all enjoyed the recap. These things are running a little longer. But hopefully y'all are finding it educational. Yeah, this one's 45 minutes. Kind of hard to condense an actual hour of trading down. So if you look down in the description section, I usually have the table of contents down there to where you can just kind of click the video and go right to where you want to go to if you want to just review a trade. But if you stuck around this far, I definitely appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. And we're going to be back at it again tomorrow. Peace.